Hi everybody, foXnoMad here, and today I want to help you travel smarter. So this is the new 2020 iPad Air, and I wanted to give you some of my initial impressions of it, but first, the unboxing. Alright, so unsurprisingly, here's the box, and it's covered in plastic, and what I love about Apple is the way they make removing this plastic just so fun. And if you've ever opened an Apple box, this is not going to be too unfamiliar to you. It's basically a very simple, although I have noticed that the edges of the boxes have gotten a little bit thicker over time, which makes it seem more premium. I mean, obviously these are premium products, but having the box just feel not like any other box is a nice touch that Apple always adds. Okay, now just trying to get the iPad out of here. And it looks really sleek. The first thing that I noticed immediately, even through this protective plastic cover, is the lack of bezels. But speaking about that plastic cover, now going back to the bezels. Even before I turn on the screen, you can see just how small the bezels are, how uniform they are across the device, and it really is just so much iPad Pro. This is an iPad Air, but it is really taking so much of the iPad Pro, and you can really feel that immediately. Now, that does mean that the iPad Air has moved up in price, but it also means that you don't have to pay as much to get an iPad Pro because you basically have one here. But I'll save a lot of that for the review. You've got your front-facing camera, obviously, your volume up and down buttons, also your power button, which does act also as a fingerprint reader, plus two speaker grills, one on the top and one on the bottom, or one on the left and one on the right, depending on how you've oriented your iPad. Now, one thing I like about this iPad Air is that it does have square edges, so it's got flat edges, which means you can kind of prop it up. Even if you don't use a case on it, you can kind of prop it up if you're in a pinch, so you can just set this next to a wall or maybe just on a table with something behind it in case it falls over. But I really do like the flat edges, unlike some of the older iPad models. Now, going back to the back, you can see the camera. It's familiar camera bump, typical single camera for an iPad. And this is supposed to be the sky blue color. And I had to keep looking at it because it, to me, does not look like sky blue. It really looks like space gray. And I've looked at it under different lighting, but under this very neutral lighting, you can see it still looks pretty space gray. So if you're thinking that you want an iPad Air that's gonna have a bright color and you want that blue, because on the site, the blues look way more blue, this iPad Air probably isn't going to impress you with its color. It looks pretty almost gray. It doesn't look very, very bright at all. Personally, for me, I usually carry my iPad in a case anyway, so I'm not going to see the back of this iPad probably ever again, really, after I do my review. But I do wish it was a brighter color. If I'm going to go with the brighter colors that Apple is offering, different colors, and I'm not just going to stick with my usual space gray, then I would prefer it to be brighter. Now, a couple other things out of the box, which normally these are just no big deal, but in Apple world, having a charging brick now is kind of a big deal because they don't include them with the iPhones anymore, which isn't that huge of an issue because most of us already have an Apple charging brick or a charging brick of some kind for our phone, especially if we already have an Apple product. But this charging brick for the iPad Air is USB-C. And on the other side, it's USB-C to charge the iPad Air, which is for Apple a huge leap to jump into USB-C. They charge the MacBooks over USB-C now. Now they charge the iPad Pro and the iPad Air over USB-C. And the iPhone, well, we're just still waiting on that. But it is nice to see Apple moving on to the standard of USB-C. It means less cable carrying for you, so you can use less cables. less proprietary cables means less things for you to carry, means a lighter carry in your backpack, means a lighter backpack, means easier travel. You get where I'm going with all this. Anyway, now it's time to set up this iPad Air, and I am looking forward to getting it set up, and I'm really looking forward to sharing my full review with you. And if you don't want to miss that iPad Air review, which is coming up very soon, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. I'll have new videos for you every week. And of course, the iPad Air review coming up in a couple of days. Thanks for watching. And oh, let me know what you think of this blue down in the comments below. Is it blue enough for you? And as I say that now, and I just kind of angle it like this, it looks a lot bluer than it did in the direct light. I don't know, it's just looking a lot bluer all of a sudden. But anyway, let me know what you think of this color down in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Slowly